we gave you a pass when it came to this. But who knew that we could find new lows? Miss Anna Wintour.
Apparently, Jeff Bezos bought Lauren Sanchez Vogue as a wedding present, and now it makes sense why Anna Wintour steps down.
Lauren Sanchez. And he's not just buying the magazine, he's going to buy the parent company, Condé Nast.
How much does it cost to buy your wife the fashion industry? Apparently just a $50 million wedding and a magazine empire. Rumors are exploding that Jeff Bezos, the man who can literally launch himself into space for fun, just bought Vogue as a wedding gift for Lauren Sanchez. Yes, the same Lauren who recently graced the cover of Vogue, raised eyebrows across the fashion world, and now might be taking over the very magazine itself. But that's not even the wildest part, because as Anna Wintour abruptly steps down from her throne, insiders say this isn't just a rumor, it's a corporate coup. And what's hiding behind the glossy covers of Vogue might just be a billionaire power move no one saw coming. Or did Jeff Bezos didn't just get married. He shut down an entire city to do it. Venice, Italy, a place dripping in old-world charm, was transformed into the stage for the most expensive wedding of the year, maybe the decade. Reports say the Amazon founder dropped a cool $50 million on the celebration, turning a historic city into his personal playground. From celebrity guests to security details tighter than the Met Gala, it was a display of wealth that didn't just whisper excess, it screamed it. Critics were quick to point out that the cost of this one wedding could have solved actual global issues: world hunger, education funding, climate crisis? Nah. Bezos chose fireworks over food banks, golden gondolas over goodwill. And yet, somehow, this wasn't the most shocking gift of the weekend. Because while the champagne was still flowing and the social media posts were still going viral, insiders were already whispering about a different kind of wedding present. Not a ring, not a yacht, not even a private island, but a media empire. So here's where the rumor mill kicks into high gear. Whispers started circulating that Jeff Bezos didn't just want to give Lauren Sanchez a lavish wedding, he wanted to give her Vogue. Yes, that Vogue, the fashion Bible, the tastemaker of tastemakers, the house that Anna Wintour built. And the story goes, Bezos wasn't just buying her a fancy title, he was buying the entire publishing empire behind it, Condé Nast. Think about that for a second. Not just owning Vogue, but owning the company that owns Vogue. This isn't like being a contributor or guest editor. This is queen of the castle power. And suddenly, Lauren's bizarre, controversial cover on Vogue's July issue doesn't seem so random. Maybe it wasn't about fashion. Maybe it was foreshadowing. After all, Lauren Sanchez is a journalist, or at least she says she is, but even her most loyal fans didn't expect her to grace the cover of Vogue. The look, the vibe, the editorial voice, it just didn't line up. Critics called it awkward, off-brand, even embarrassing. But now people are putting two and two together. If your billionaire husband is buying the whole company, well, a cover shoot isn't out of reach. And just as this theory started catching fire, something else happened. Something that made people start connecting the dots. For nearly 4 decades, Vogue was Anna Wintour. The sunglasses, the bob, the icy stare that could end careers. She wasn't just an editor. She was a legend. But now, with barely a warning, she's stepping down from her role as editor-in-chief of American Vogue after 37 years. And sure, the press release says she's staying on in a global capacity, but fashion insiders aren't buying the polished PR spin. The timing is suspicious at best, downright damning at worst. Why would Anna, who held onto her position through every cultural shift and corporate storm, suddenly bow out now? Unless, of course, she wasn't willing to take orders from her new boss. Because if Bezos buys Condé Nast, then technically Lauren Sanchez would be in charge of Vogue. Let that sink in. Anna Wintour answering to Lauren Sánchez. And here's where it gets even more messy. Anna reportedly has equity in Condé Nast, which means she's not just walking away empty-handed. Some insiders believe she's brokering the deal herself, guiding the sale from behind the scenes and cashing out when it's done. So maybe this isn't a resignation out of protest. Maybe it's a very expensive, very calculated exit strategy. Because if Anna's getting paid and Lauren is getting power, that Vogue cover wasn't just controversial, it was strategic. And the signs were hiding in plain sight.
That July cover of Vogue featuring Lauren Sánchez, it raised eyebrows for all the wrong reasons. Critics dragged it, fashion blogs mocked it, social media tore it apart. But now it's looking less like a misstep and more like a marketing move. Sources close to the industry claim the Newhouse family, who currently own Condé Nast, were looking to sweeten the deal for Bezos. And what better way than to hand Lauren the cover of the most influential fashion magazine on earth? It's a tactic as old as media itself. Butter up the billionaire. Make the future buyer's wife look like royalty. Dress it up in couture and call it legacy. Suddenly, the editorial that felt so off-brand makes perfect sense. It wasn't for the readers, it was for the negotiations. Even more telling, Condé Nast has reportedly been slimming down its operations. Layoffs, budget cuts, restructuring. It's what every company does right before they sell. And if Anna Wintour holds equity, then this Vogue cover and the entire transition might have been her way of cashing out in style. Sell the company for more than it's worth, take your millions, and walk out while still pretending it was all on your terms. So, is Lauren Sánchez really just a fashion outsider getting lucky, or has this all been part of a much bigger plan? Because if the rumors are true, the fashion world just got played.
The fallout has been brutal, and the fashion elite are not hiding their disgust. Industry insiders are calling it a travesty, while longtime Vogue readers are threatening to cancel subscriptions altogether. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. How much did he pay to put his inflatable wife on the cover? Others are joking, maybe not joking, that Vogue will soon be filled with Amazon ads and Alexa-powered wardrobe tips. And then there's the Met Gala. Yes, that Met Gala, the crown jewel of fashion, the one event Anna Wintour ruled like a monarch. Now, people are speculating. If Bezos buys Condé Nast, does that mean Lauren Sánchez could end up running the Met Gala, hosting it, curating it? That idea alone has fashion snobs everywhere clutching their pearls and their vintage Chanel. It's not just that Lauren doesn't fit the traditional Vogue mold. It's that her sudden elevation feels manufactured, like a storyline ripped straight out of a Netflix satire about power, money, and plastic surgery. And that July cover, it wasn't a coronation. It was a warning, a glossy, airbrushed preview of what happens when influence is purchased instead of earned. But while fashion insiders spiral, Hollywood might be taking notes. Because this billionaire soap opera, it's starting to look a lot like a sequel.
You know things are getting surreal when a corporate rumor starts sounding like a movie plot. And in this case, maybe it is. Because guess what? The Devil Wears Prada 2 is officially in production, with a 2026 release date. And fans online are convinced that this real-life Bezos-Sánchez Wintour drama is the uncredited script. Let's connect the dots. In the original film, Miranda Priestly, played iconically by Meryl Streep, was reportedly inspired by Anna Wintour. And now, with Anna stepping down and a billionaire's new wife possibly sliding into her power seat, the sequel practically writes itself. Rich tech mogul buys legendary fashion magazine. His social climbing wife takes over. Chaos ensues. Sound familiar? Online theorists say the cast additions, the timing, even the tone of the sequel all point to some heavily inspired moments from this bizarre Vogue saga. And honestly, it wouldn't be a stretch, because if Lauren Sánchez does end up as editor, or even just figurehead, it won't be because she climbed the editorial ladder. It'll be because she married the man who bought the ladder. But just when you think the story couldn't get any more unhinged, enter the blinds. And this next one, it might explain why Lauren's close friends didn't show up to the wedding. It started as a blind item on gossip pages, but now it's all over TikTok. And it's one of the juiciest yet. The rumor? That Lauren Sánchez allegedly propositioned none other than Eva Longoria to join her and Jeff Bezos in a three-way. Yep, that's the alleged reason why Eva, one of Lauren's supposed close friends, skipped the wedding, even though she was filming just a short flight away in Spain. According to Gossip Insiders, Lauren reportedly made the offer, Eva was not into it, and politely, or maybe not so politely, distanced herself. And suddenly, Eva's very public absence at the $50 million Venice spectacle starts making more sense. Not scheduling conflict, not bad timing, just hard pass on that particular honeymoon arrangement. And it doesn't end there. The blind item describes Lauren as the kind of woman who expects the world to orbit around her now that she's married to Bezos. The new theory? That this wasn't an isolated offer, but part of a broader shift in how Lauren is allegedly navigating her new billionaire queen status, mixing influence, intimidation, and unconventional requests. Of course, nothing's confirmed, but if there's one thing Hollywood knows, it's that where there's smoke, there's usually a publicist scrambling somewhere behind the scenes. And if the fashion world is side-eyeing Lauren, so are her celebrity peers. Because the real backlash? It's not just about taste, it's about power.
The backlash has been swift and cutting. Rosie O'Donnell didn't hold back, describing the Bezos wedding as a grotesque display of excess that made her stomach turn. Mariah Carey, when asked about the lavish event, gave a cryptic "I wasn't there," saying more with less and leaving everyone wondering what she really thinks. Even longtime friends like Eva Longoria are rumored to be distancing themselves, and the whispers of wild parties and questionable invites only add fuel to the fire. But it's not just about a wedding or a magazine cover. It's about what this all means in the bigger picture. Jeff Bezos is no stranger to media ownership. He bought the Washington Post in 2013, ending a century-old family's run. Now, if these Vogue rumors hold any truth, it means the richest man on earth is edging even deeper into the culture we consume daily. Amazon ads infiltrating Vogue pages, Bezos' influence steering fashion trends, the Met Gala run by a billionaire power couple. Some see it as the ultimate corporate takeover of art and style. Others see a disturbing sign of how much control one man can wield over public taste and media narratives. This saga isn't just a headline. It's a warning sign about power, privilege, and the price of influence in today's world. Of course, nothing's confirmed, but if there's one thing Hollywood knows, it's that where there's smoke, there's usually a publicist scrambling somewhere behind the scenes. And if the fashion world is side-eyeing Lauren, so are her celebrity peers. Because the real backlash, it's not just about taste, it's about power. And as this story unfolds, one question lingers. Is this just the beginning of a new era, or the end of an old one? This whirlwind of rumors, resignations, and power moves reveals one undeniable truth. In today's world, wealth isn't just about money, it's about influence. Jeff Bezos, already a titan of tech and media, could be quietly rewriting the rules of fashion and culture by handing the reins of Vogue to his wife, Lauren Sánchez. Whether this is a strategic masterstroke or just a billionaire's whim, the fashion world will never be the same. Anna Wintour's sudden exit, the controversial magazine covers, the whispered deals, they all hint at a shifting guard. And for all the glamour and glitz, they're the shadow cast over the industry by corporate power and celebrity spectacle. It leaves us wondering, when the richest person buys your favorite magazine, who really decides what's in style? So next time you flip through Vogue, look a little closer. Because behind those glossy pages could be a story of money, marriage, and media control that's far more dramatic than any runway show. And as always, we'll be here to watch and report every twist and turn.